In this episode, I'm going to dive into the complete system that I used to quit porn. I'm going to give you 6 things that I used, very simple, very easy to implement, that helped me to not have to rely on willpower to avoid relapsing. Welcome back to the next episode of the Escaping Lust series. If you've just joined us, make sure to go back to the first episode. And if you've been with us from the start, make sure you've got your action step done from last episode. And let's get into it. I'm going to try and get through this. I don't want this to be extremely dragged out. I want it to be very implementable. I don't even know if that's a word, but I want it to be very implementable for you so that you can take this away right now and take action. Number 1 is to cut access to the source. If these adult sites remain a click away, you're asking willpower to defeat something which has been conditioned into you for years. It's not going to defeat effortless access. So how can you get around this? By installing app blockers. I use Opal. I'm going to put a free 30-day trial in the link in the bio. What you're going to do with Opal is you're going to cut access not only to the adult sites, so you're going to be able to put on adult content blocking, but what I would recommend is to cut access to your browser, okay? Because think about how much you actually need your browser. Can you not do a lot of your searching in ChatGPT, for example? And I'm also going to suggest cutting off access to social media. And the reason for this is because if you're building your brain up with cheap dopamine and then you stop, you come away from scrolling on social media, again, like we mentioned in the previous video, when your brain's dopamine levels drop, it's trying to find a way back up. And what's the easiest way to do that? You guessed it. So the second way that I escaped from pornography was to train my social media algorithm. If your Instagram and your TikTok is filled with hot women, only toes models, and lust, non-stop lust, how are you ever going to expect to break free from this? There's 2 ways that we can fix this. There's 1, clicking not interested on the videos that you see which are lustful. So click the 3 buttons at the top and click not interested. Very quickly your algorithm will pick up that you don't want to watch videos like this, and it will start to change what it actually shows you. Another thing to do is if you are following models on there, unfollow them, bro. Your world isn't going to end. By doing this, you're going to be training your social media to stop showing you things that lead into temptation. The 3rd tip is to educate yourself, which you're already doing by watching this video. Educate yourself on how bad lust is. There are some amazing videos out there, hopefully like the one that you're watching. And if you're enjoying this, make sure to drop me a like. But listen, there are going to be plenty of videos that you can watch which are going to educate you about why lust and pornography are so bad, that you can watch once you finish this series. Make sure you finish this one first. The 4th is a super important point, which is bringing it to the light. You see, lust thrives with secrecy. We already know this because what happens when it's kept as a secret? Well, your brain starts to say to you, oh, it's not that bad. You know, you can watch it one more time and it doesn't hurt anyone. If that's the case, then why do you feel so guilty about it? And why are you watching this video right now? You know that it's wrong. You know that you shouldn't be doing it. So what is the best way to bring that away from you? It's to bring it to the light. What do I mean by that? I mean involving accountability partners. And this doesn't have to be someone paid. Like my clients pay me to be their accountability coach to help them escape from pornography and lust. But maybe you're not in a financial position to do that. So who else can you bring on board to maybe do it for free? Is there a trusted friend that you have who is also trying to escape from this? If so, involve them. Get them to hold you accountable. That's why I'm creating a community. I'm creating a community not just to help with these vices, but to also help with habits, discipline, mindset, and accountability. A brotherhood of guys who just want to get better, guys who want to support each other and see each other win. And what happens by joining this community is you're going to have access to guys who are on the same path as you, who are interested in the same things, who want to continue to improve their lives, and we can all do that together. So if you're interested in the community, the link for that is in the bio. The 5th thing, which was instrumental in me not falling back into lust, is fleeing. We are taught in the Bible that lust is the only sin that we need to flee from because its pull is that strong. So what does fleeing look like in real life? You see, fleeing isn't just in the mind. It's not just shutting down the thoughts of lust, because let's be honest, if you've tried to do that, you know how hard that is. I'm talking about fleeing as in the actual physical sense. An example of where I did this, right? I used to work from home all the time, every single day, day until night. But my bedroom was the place that I kept falling back into lust. It's where I kept relapsing. So I knew that I couldn't continue living like this. So I started to work away from home. I started to work at cafes. I went to hotels and gyms that had places that I could work from. And I tried to stay away from my bedroom for as long as possible because I knew that this was the danger point. This was the cue, the environmental cue. So fleeing had a huge impact on my journey, and I would very highly recommend for you to flee the environments that you fall back into this. Maybe this isn't just in pornography. Maybe it's not just talking about fleeing from your bedroom. Maybe you keep falling back into lust when you go to nightclubs and you keep on taking girls home, and then you just feel awful about it the next day. So maybe fleeing is not going to nightclubs. Whatever it is, fleeing is a huge asset to you. I highly, highly recommend that you take this advice on board. And the final thing, which was for me, I spent 5 years trying to do this on my own, trying to learn about it and try to do different habits, and sometimes I was taking it seriously and sometimes I wasn't. And in January 2026, I decided to pray to God and surrender everything to God. I brought it out of the light in that sense. And I said to him, Lord, I am struggling with this. I really need your strength. Please help me to overcome this. And I made a commitment that day as well. I said, Lord, please allow me to escape from pornography. And I would like one day to be able to help other men to do the same. So please give me the strength to do that. And I will be able to fulfill on that promise. And that's what I'm doing here today. Listen, you don't have to do the same. You don't have to create a YouTube series. If you do, amazing. And let me know because I'll support that. But you might just help one guy. You might help a friend to do the same one day. Now, understand, I'm not trying to preach at you because I know that guys who are watching this are going to be at different levels of faith. Some of you may not believe in God at all. Some of you may be extremely spiritual. Some of you may have amazing connections with God. Regardless, I can only speak from my own experience, and God for me was a huge part of doing this. And I don't believe that I would have been able to do what I've done without truly relying on Him. And that goes for the same in everything, in my relationships, in my business, in my fitness, in everything. So it's only right that I give you the full story. Now in the next episode, we're going to be looking at something extremely important, which is about what you're escaping when you keep relapsing. And what I mean by this is the emotions that we were talking about. Are you trying to escape anger, frustration, loneliness? How to actually face those emotions and build ourselves in a way where we don't need to escape. Guys, the action step that I want you to take before we go into the next episode is to write down the 6 points. I'm going to put them back on screen now. The 6 points of the complete system that I use to escape lust. I want you to write down each of these points and write down what you are going to do in each of these areas. Just one thing, it doesn't have to be 10 things in each, because if you write down 10 things in each, what's the likelihood of you actually doing any? If we can just keep it super simple, that is how we're going to make the most progress. So guys, thank you for joining me in this video, and I will see you in the next one.